Now, a lot of people will tell you that if you take an analog mixer and plug it up to your interface via its output channels, you'll be able to get your output directly into your DAW without much fuss, and that is true. But once it's in there, you can't really individually bring out that one sound and equalize it by itself. Or can you? Stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to show you how, utilizing a Mackie CFX 12 mixer and a Scala 18i8, I can get 8 channels of mix-worthy individual channels into my DAW with no real problem and no bleed over. Come and have a look. This is a Mackie CFX 12 mixer. I bought this 10 years ago when I had my fish and chip shop. A man called Scott came in, we got chatting about music and doing all sorts else on our own little Reverb Nation websites and everything else. And it turns out he had this, which he wanted to get rid of. He wasn't using it anymore. It was a case of you could plug all these channels in, but you can only get a left or a right or a right channel out of it. So you would need a 2-channel interface to go into your DAW. However, once it's in your DAW, there's not much you can do with it because you're going to have 12 channels down into 2 channels and going into your DAW, which means it's really unworkable. Really, unless of course you know exactly what you're doing with all this and you know you've done it so you won't have to alter it again. But that's a mixing engineer's job. To the average studio bedroom studio musician, it's a nightmare. So how do we get around it? These, when all turned down, there is no sound coming through anything. These are all turned down, there's no sound going anything. These are all at their central points for the equalizer, and this is dead center. There's no sound coming out of this machine. So what we're going to do, I want this channel to go from here into the audio interface and to be dedicated channel once it arrives at the DAW, which means one channel in the DAW. Whatever I record on here can be adjusted, can be mixed and eventually mastered. This is a channel strip. Whereas this looks bloody confusing, this mic 1 down to this point here 1, this is a channel strip. It is only one channel. So if I plug a microphone in there, only the sound of the microphone is getting down here to come across and go out of these 2 plugs. How will we set it up in a way that I can make this a dedicated channel, not going out of these 2 plugs, but going somewhere else? But first and foremost, we want to say, okay, we're going to be using one of 3 different types of plugs for this system. You've got this, which is a general microphone type lead. This is also a general microphone, or whatever, a balanced microphone plug lead. This is called the TRS, tip, ring, sleeve, TRS. I've forgotten the name of this for now, but tell you what, it doesn't really matter because this, as you can see, will fit into the 3 holes in there. And then there's this one, the tip sleeve. A general, it is a mono jack plug, and it will fit in one of these. This can only fit in one of these, and this will fit in any one of these. So the first point is, okay, my buddy is coming in and he's going to be singing whilst I do the guitar work. I'm going to set the gain up for the microphone and start getting sound. If it's not enough sound, you can boost it. If it's too much sound, you can reduce it. But that is unity gain or thereabouts, as close as I can see. The sound is now traveling down this channel strip to this point where it gets sent across and out of the mixer. But this is not quite what I want. What I want is this to go into the mixer on its own mono dedicated channel. Why mono? Think about it, folks. These are the 8 channels that we are going to be using. If I want this to become stereo, this one might be coming up through the center. This one might be coming up all the way over to the left. This one might be coming all the way to the right. Once it goes out, it's recorded as a stereo track. Everything generally going into your mixer is mono. Nothing to really worry about. So the sound is all coming down here. It's a mono track. It's come down as far as here. It jumps across, but I don't want that. I want it to come out of auxiliary channel number 1. And what do I do with that? I take one of these cables. I go to the auxiliary send, which is here. I plug it into number 1, and the other end of this cable goes into my digital audio interface. What have I got then? One dedicated channel of sound going into the interface. From the interface, it's easy to get it in the computer. Great. So that's the first one set up. Again, I've decided I'm coming in. I'm going to be playing along with him with my guitar. So I've got my wireless guitar set up. I plug it in. I set up the gain. If it's too quiet, I boost it. If it's too loud, I reduce it. It's coming down here. I've got sound coming through. What's my next job? I can't use this one because it's already in use, but I can use auxiliary number 2. It's now coming down through and everything else. It's doing all of its little jobs. I take another one of these cables and I put it into auxiliary send number 2, and the other end of this cable into another jack in my interface in order that it can go straight through to the digital DAW. So now my mate is singing, I'm playing guitar, girlfriend comes in, she wants to join in. So she brings her microphone and she plugs it in, she sets up her gain. It's all coming down here. She's got the sound that she likes, she's got the volume coming through that she likes. What can she do? This is the effects send 1. This channel, this channel, this channel is on effects send 1. If it's too quiet, she can boost it. If it's too loud, she can reduce it. That is unity gain. In other words, it's optimal sounding area. She comes down through, great stuff. But now she doesn't want it out here. It's got to come through with its own channel once again. If you look at the top here, you've got effects send 1 and effects send 2. Effects send 1, the other end of this, into your audio interface, and from there into your DAW. So there you go. Your mate is singing, you're playing guitar, she's come in to do backing vocals, and now you've got one of her brats, because yes, you've got a girlfriend who's already got a kid. Comes in and they want to play tambourine. And you know they can keep a rhythm, so you let them play along. You plug in the microphone, whatever, to there. You set up the gain, that is the signal strength going through. You set it up down here to say the tambourine sounds great. You've got the volume coming through, great. And you go into 4th channel, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you put on here to unity gain. Again, if it's too quiet, you boost it. Or if it's too low, you reduce it. All of the systems are playable. From here, it goes through to effects send 2. And you've got the other end of this going into your interface, which goes through to your DAW. You have now got 4 dedicated channels of sound into your DAW. But hang on. This is the audio effects send, and it goes automatically through to here before it goes out, which means depending on how you've got this set, you've either got a reverby, you've got a multiple echoes, or you've got a flangey sound coming out of the tambourine as the kiddie is playing along with it. You don't want that. What do you want? You want a clean channel. Here you've got a bypass button. When this effects unit is on, you've got a red light to show that it's on. If you want to bypass it, you bypass it. And that turns off the red light and eliminates this, which means the sound is now going from, as far as we're concerned, here, direct to here. And then into your DAW. That's 4 channels of dedicated direct sound going into your interface. And again from your interface, 4 channels into your DAW. Right, so there we go, folks. We have had 4 channels of dedicated individual analog sound going directly into an audio interface and giving 4 channels of dedicated sound in the computer, from which you can now open your DAW, configure your channels to go to tracks, and you can individually mix and master those channels as you require. In the next video, I'm going to show you 4 more. Guess what? If you can get hold of a Mackie CFX 12 mixer or anything with the same specification, the same sub bus channels, the same amount of inputs and the same amount of outputs for stage work, you can do this too. Don't go buying anything. Make sure it's got everything you need. So for the next 4 channels, you're going to need to stick with me before you go rushing off and buying this spanking new piece of old kit, and see exactly what you're going to need there as well. Then you can start thinking about, we can get on with it. See you in the next video. It won't be too long, I promise. But in the meantime, in my time-honored tradition, Merry Christmas!